this is from the chairman of the PDP state. You accuse the IG of being a partisan IG for making arrests in connection with the killing of a policeman at the airport. If that makes me partisan, if you hold the opinion that the IG is partisan for going after the killers of a policeman, I think we will remain with that opinion forever.
Media Abacha.
You were here in 2020. Very heated elections. As you know, this is an off-cycle election, and there's a lot of attention. But unlike 2020, I'm very worried. Very, very worried. Because from the developments and where we are today, I think my party met yesterday and we're not likely to sign this agreement. The person who is supposed to enforce peace, the peace accord, is now an active participant in creating a destructive environment. We've had situations where, from the Inspector General's office, there are armed gangs of policemen who have come into Edo State to just invade, arrest, and take away PDP members. As we speak, there are about 10 in detention in Abuja without trial. 2 days ago, they came to pick up a local government chairman. This man, the chairman was going back home. He was attacked and shot at. And the police, he reported, and the police said he should come to give evidence. He came, they arrested him. And as I speak, he's in Abuja. I'm saying, even if offenses were committed in Edo State, why would you not charge the offenses here and try them here? Why take them to Abuja? I mean, are these offenses of high treason? And then in Abuja, why not charge them to court in Abuja? The police, the IG's office came in and obtained warrants to arrest 60 PDP supporters. 60.
60.
Yes, they have the warrants. So all just essentially driving all our leaders into hiding. And for me, my role as the chief security officer is being made nonsense of by the IG. Because the commercial arrests, we heard somebody was arrested, the chairman was arrested. I called the commissioner. I said, please, I understand this has happened. Please look into it and let me know. He said, I'll come back to you, sir. And he just refused, he ignored me, didn't say anything. It was the next morning at 4 a.m., he moved that person to Abuja. And I said, speak the out there. So, sir, how can we sign a peace accord? Why should we? Because clearly what you're saying is it's going to be a very violent election. And they're going to use the forces of coercion and intimidation to win the elections in Edo, whether we like it or not. That's the message. I'm glad the IG is in town. We said no until everybody arrested in Edo is released or brought back to Edo to be tried for whatever offenses you claim they've committed. We have no confidence that the police is going to protect us in these elections.
The Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 5, Benin, AIG Arungu Amewasi, the CP Edo State Command, and other heads of security agencies in Edo State here present, senior officers here present, party chairmen, candidates and other representatives of parties, political parties here present, our friends from the civil society organization here present, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with a profound sense of responsibility and dedication to our democratic values that I'm here today to join our esteemed chairman, the chairman of INEC, Professor Yakub Mahmoud, to address critical issues concerning the gubernatorial election in Edo State, scheduled for Saturday, 21st of September 2024. To me, the Edo State governorship election that is coming is not merely a procedural event. It is an opportunity for us to reaffirm our commitment to democratic principles, the rule of law, and the integrity of the electoral process. Free and fair elections are bedrock of democracy. While it is the responsibility of all stakeholders to ensure that elections take place in a conducive environment, the task of securing the electoral process rests squarely with the police. The Electoral Act has mandated the Nigerian Police Force to take the lead in policing the election, and we are dedicated to executing this responsibility with excellence. As in the past elections, the police will be supported by other national security agencies who will join us in ensuring the safety and security of the electoral process, demonstrating our collective commitment to a peaceful and credible election. We understand the vital importance of our roles in this election, and I want to assure you that we are well prepared to perform our duties with excellence. We will safeguard the electoral process by ensuring the safety of all persons and properties, including equipment that will be involved in this election. We will ensure strict compliance and enforcement of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Electoral Act, the Police Act 2020, the Criminal Penal Code, Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, and other requisite laws. Crowd and traffic management at all electoral-related activities, political party, convention, congresses, campaigns, rallies, procession, etc. We will provide a conducive environment for the peaceful conduct of credible elections. Our approach to election security is grounded in the principles of neutrality, professionalism, and respect for human rights. We are committed to deploying sufficient personnel and resources to ensure effective crowd management, prevent electoral violence, and address any emerging security issues. In this election, the police will be deploying 35,000 personnel, and this will be complemented by over 8,000 members of the armed forces and other security agencies. In preparation for the election, the Nigerian Police Force, in collaboration with these other security agencies, has undertaken several measures, including conducting a thorough threat analysis of vulnerable points in Edo State to deploy resources effectively, engaging in interagency consultation and collaboration at both national and state levels, performing operational visits by the Police Election Planning Monitoring and Evaluation Team to Edo State for on-the-ground assessment and preparation. In the lead-up to this election, the Nigerian Police Force, with other security agencies, will engage continuously with political parties and relevant stakeholders and conduct public enlightenment campaigns for eligible voters and interest groups across the state. Provide robust security for INEC officials, ensure the safe escort of electoral materials from storage facilities to registration area centers and polling units. Secure the state's entry and exit points with military support, and ensure strict enforcement of the restriction order on movement on the election day. The Nigerian Police, in addition, will deploy adequate operational assets as necessary for this election. I once again assure you of our unwavering neutrality and the neutrality of all participating security agencies. Our commitment is to a free and fair election, ensuring a level playing field for all candidates. Our personnel have been trained to carry out their duties with professionalism and impartiality. Our loyalty lies with the Constitution and the people of Nigeria. To the political parties and the candidates, I urge you to adhere strictly to the rules and respect the electoral process. Let us collectively foster an environment that upholds democratic values and honors the will of our people. I assure the residents of Edo State that we are fully prepared to safeguard your safety and security throughout this electoral process. Your right to vote is sacred, and we will protect it. I encourage you to come out in large numbers to exercise your right, confident that our extensive deployment is intended to ensure your safety and integrity of the election. I take this opportunity to warn all potential troublemakers contemplating destructive actions to abandon such intentions. The security forces will not tolerate any form of political thuggery, violence, or hooliganism. Any attempt to undermine the electoral process will be met with swift and decisive action. Moreover, I want to emphasize that the management of election security solely the responsibility of the Nigerian Police Force and other national security agencies within the ISET. This responsibility does not extend to quasi-security entities or non-state actors. I hereby direct all local security apparatus within Edo State to refrain from interfering with election security functions. Any individual or group engaging in unauthorized security activities will face immediate arrest and prosecution. In this regard, the activities of Edo State Security Corps, which has been suspended, remains suspended until further notice. Movement of persons and vehicles will be restricted from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the day of election. All orderlies and escorts to VIPs will be withdrawn on the eve of the election, with alternative security arrangements provided across the state. At this junction, I would like to highlight some of the actions that will constitute offense on the election day. The Electoral Act 2022 as amended in section 124 makes it an offense for any person who knowingly vote or attempt to vote in the constituency where his or her name is not in the register of voters. Any person who knowingly bring into a polling unit during an election a voter's card issued to another person commits an offense. Section 125 also makes it an offense for any person to act or incite others to act in a disorderly manner. Section 126 prohibits any person at the polling unit or within a distance of 300 meters to canvass for votes, solicit for votes, persuade any voter not to vote for any particular candidate, shout slogans concerning the election, persuade any voter not to vote, be in possession of offensive weapons. And I want to repeat this. It is an offense under the electoral law for any person to be in possession of any offensive weapon on the day of election. This should be noted by all and sundry. I urge political leaders to please warn their supporters, because any person seen with offensive weapon on that day of election will be treated as criminals and not as voters. No person shall intimidate any voter or wear symbols of any party on the day of election, snatch or destroy any electoral materials, use any vehicle bearing color or symbol of any political party, loiter without lawful excuse after voting or after being refused to vote. Bear sarin. Section 1262 also makes it an offense for any person to convene or attend meeting during the hours of polls, or make official announcement, or wear any badge. I want stakeholders to take note of these acts that constitute these electoral offences and use it to warn their supporters to adhere strictly to the rules of this election. In closing, I thank you for your attention and cooperation. Together, let us ensure that the Edo State Governorship Election 2024 becomes a shining example of excellence in our electoral processes. Thank you.